Om Shri Sai Ram. Our eminent speaker for today is Sri Vardharajan. Sri Vardharajan is an active member of the Thane Samiti since 1991. He has been regularly participating in all the Samiti bhajans. By profession, Sri Vardharajan is a chartered accountant. He is regularly conducting monthly study circle activity for more than 12 years. Sri Vardharajan has been recently made the convener of the Thane Samiti. Let us welcome our eminent speaker, Sai Ram.
Sairam, Sairam to all the Samiti members, Koti Pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Master Bhagavan Swami. I want to just narrate three experiences of mine to explain the abundant grace of Swami on me and my family as a part of this speech. I have 30 to 35 minutes perhaps, and I'll try to summarize the three experiences of 10 minutes each. The first experience, all the three experiences are life-saving experiences for me. And the first experience happened in the year 1991, before my marriage. In 1991, during October or November, you will all remember that there was a gas leak in Thane, in Godbandar Road. There was a chlorine gas leak because a tanker which was carrying chlorine overturned, and the whole Thane city was completely engulfed with the fumes of the chlorine gas. I was traveling from Mulund Cheknaka to Vasant Vihar in an auto, and while traveling, it was around 10:30, 11 in the night. The auto driver was wearing a mask, with a wet mask actually. I asked him, why are you wearing a wet mask? He said that there is a gas leak, so we are not able to breathe. I didn't have a wet kerchief at that time. I tried with my kerchief, but still, it was very pungent. You all know how difficult it will be to inhale chlorine gas. And from Mulund Cheknaka to my residence, it took almost 25 minutes, and I was breathing enough of chlorine gas during that time. By the time I reached my house, it was around 11:15 at night. I was not able to breathe. My brother was with me, and just came in and then thought that that will be the last day for me, because I was not able to even inhale normally, and exhale to chodiye. Inhale normally I could not do. And I had at that point in time only Swami's photo with me, and it was before my marriage, and I had just one photo and bare minimum of furniture in the house. Not even fridge was there at that time. I just went before and stood before Swami's photograph and said, Swami, I have inhaled enough of chlorine gas. I don't know whether I'll be alive or I will not be. But Swami, I don't want to die at this point in time. You have to save me. Please help me out. As I was praying like this, the calling bell rang. My brother went and opened the door, and from my neighbor's house, a small girl just came and said that, Uncle, somebody gave me this vessel with curd. I had at that point in time, being a bachelor, arranged for somebody to give me curd every night. Without curd rice, I could not sleep. So I was unable to make curd myself because I used to leave for office very early, and we didn't have fridge or something for me to store the curd also as well. So that person had given curd to my neighbor around 8 o'clock in the evening because I was not available at home. I came at 11:15, and this girl from my neighbor's house came in and gave the curd. Now I cannot store the curd. I just opened it. It was very, sour. The curd was very sour. Then I made it into a buttermilk, added some salt, and me and my brother had one full glass of sour buttermilk. It was very sour. Then I again prayed to Swami, Swami, I am leaving everything in your hands and I'm going to sleep. I don't want any ill effect of this chlorine gas on me. Please save me. I just said that and I went to sleep. Both of us had very nice sleep. And when we got up in the morning, it was quite fresh. There was no atmosphere where the chlorine gas residue also was there. It was quite fresh air in the morning. The Times of India newspaper came, and the first news on the first page was massive gas leak in Thane. That was a huge heading of massive gas leak in Thane. Then on the side of that, there was a vertical column where the Thane Civil Hospital respiratory department chief had given his comments. He had said that for yesterday's chlorine gas leak, whoever has exposed themselves to chlorine gas, the best medicine would have been a sour buttermilk. He said that if you had taken sour buttermilk immediately after the chlorine gas leak inhalation, it will completely antidote the bad effects of the chlorine gas in your body and mitigate all the risks totally. I could not stop, the eyes were wet. I could not stop thinking of Swami at that point in time, that he saved me at the nick of the moment. It was an experience which brought me much closer to Swami, because in 90 or 91, I was quite new to be in the fold of Swami, and I had just started attending bhajans, and I had only read books of Swami written by Professor Kasturi, Howard Murphy, John Hislop, and all those people. But this personal experience of mine is one experience which I can never forget, because the moment I prayed, instantaneously the neighbor's daughter came and rang the bell, and the curd that she gave me need not have been sour. It could have been without that kind of sourness in that. And the immediate intention of me to make it into a buttermilk and drink was also Swami's prodding. Otherwise, I could have stored it, I could have saved it, I could have used it the next day, or any such thing would have happened, or I would have done. But I decided to immediately consume and clear it off. This one experience I can never forget, that Swami saved my life in the year 1991. Otherwise, I don't know what kind of complications it would have made in my life in the respiratory tract. The second experience which I wanted to narrate is about my wife's health. Most of you who know me since 91 know that my wife suffered slip disc in the year 98 and 99. I had even, at that time, I think study circle was not there, or I had not spoken about this in the study circle or something like that. But this was a very serious problem that she had in the year 1999. And at that point in time, she was experiencing sciatica pain in her left leg. Right from the hip down, there used to be excruciating pain, and she was unable to bear it. And to add to all this problem, she was carrying my daughter around. She was 4 months at that time. I went to the doctor. The doctor said that we can neither take X-ray nor we can take an MRI. So I am not able to even suggest you any steroidal drug because she is carrying. Let me think about it and let you know. He was actually totally confused. And my only source of strength was Swami. And always I used to chant his name, like how Swami has always said that Rupa Sahita Dhyanam. When you are doing an Namasmarana, you always remember the Lord with his beautiful form, and then hold on to his lotus feet and then keep on chanting. Nothing else is to be done. You keep on chanting. So when that exercise of mine was going on, the doctor came out with a suggestion saying that you try traction. If you try traction, the pain may be relieved. He was not very sure whether the pain will be relieved or not. He said the pain may be relieved. Then we took her to a nursing home in Lopuram, and I admitted her over there, and traction was started. You will not believe, when the first traction of half a kg water was applied on her knee, the pain reduced and she was able to bear the pain. The second half a kg, when it was added from half a kg to 1 kg, the pain totally subsided and for 1 or 2 days she was completely painless. Then the doctor said, let us remove the traction for some time and see whether she is getting the pain back. He removed the traction, the pain did not come back. We brought her home, and the pain was not back for almost 1 year and 8 months. In the meanwhile, my daughter was born, and her first year also was over. She had completed 1 year after her birth. I thought the problem is completely solved, but it was not so. Suddenly, what happened one day? She was standing down in the foyer of our building, and suddenly she felt that there is some unnatural movement in her L4, L5, and she immediately came up and lied down in the house on the floor. That's it. She could not move. For the next 48 hours, she could not move. I came home around 9 o'clock in the evening. I saw her immobility. I immediately contacted the doctor. The doctor said that this is Friday night. Let us see tomorrow morning. He came home, he saw her, and we could not move her at all because even 1 millimeter movement of her leg will give her excruciating pain. Then at that point in time, I just waited, and always my Swami's name was my strength. I was always chanting his name and telling him that Swami, somehow you cure. Because I was seeing something like this for the first time in my life. Then on Saturday, we took her to an orthopedic in Thane, and it was with very enormous difficulty that she moved from my house to the Thane hospital. In Thane hospital, the moment she lied down, her pain was bearable, but before lying down, the pain was excruciating. And the doctor said we need to observe her for a day or two, say either Saturday and Sunday. And both the days, my only job was to keep on chanting the name of our Swami. Then on Monday morning, by 6 o'clock, the doctor came and tapped her left foot. She was not having any sensation there. The doctor said it is very urgent. I'll have to do the surgery immediately. I'll have to open the spinal cord and then see what it is. Then the earlier MRI was there because it was much before we had taken. He said any new MRI is not required. I'll go with the older MRI, and he took her into the operation theater. I was sitting outside and doing japam only. After just half an hour or 45 minutes, the doctor came out and said, Mr. Vardarajan, you are extremely lucky. I think your Sairam has done a great miracle on your family. That is exactly the words he said. He said, when I opened the spine, I didn't have to do anything because the cartilage, which was supposed to have prolapsed, had broken and it had fallen into a canal inside. I had to use the tool just to pick up those cartilages and kept it in a container. I had to touch nothing in the body. The lamina was not touched. Had I touched the lamina, your wife would have become lame. She would not have been able to walk after that point in time. But Swami took care on that day that the surgery was just for a namesake, but the doctor simply removed what had already broken inside the body. I cannot explain the grace of Swami at this point in time. The amount of suffering at that point in time that we went through is only Swami knows. And the way I was chanting his name, कोई भी हॉस्पिटल में आएगा उसके सामने मैं तो आंख बंद करके बैठता था और डॉक्टर आके बोला your Sairam has cured your wife. Now for 11 days, next 11 days, she has to lie down horizontally, and after the 11th day only, she will be allowed to sit. Now, in those 11 days, Ashad Ekadasi was coming. In those days, Ashad Ekadasi bhajan used to happen in my house, and Subramanya Mama asked me, Vardarajan, what about Ashad Ekadasi bhajan? I said, Mama, please have it in my house. My in-laws are here. I will be in the hospital. You have it in the house. Then we had Ashad Ekadasi bhajan. I came home just for the bhajan. finished, took the prasad and went back to the hospital, and I spent almost 11 days in the hospital along with my wife. And on the 11th day, after Ashadha Ekadasi, as you all know, Guru Purnima comes. So I wrote a letter to Swami. Dear Swami, just 2 lines I wrote. Dear Swami, I love you. I thank you for whatever you have done for me and my family. My only request to you is that whenever there is a bhajan in my house, please come. You have to come, you have to attend the bhajan in my house. That's all I wrote. And one of my friend was was studying in Vrindavan. He told me that Varadarajan, I am going to Puttaparthi on Guru Purnima. Why don't you courier it to me? I couriered my small note to Swami, and on Guru Purnima day, when he was sitting in Sai Kulwant Hall, along with that letter, Swami straight came to him and picked up letter and walked away. He didn't tell anything to anybody. What transpired between me and Swami was known only to me. Nothing. I'm sharing this after a long time with you all in this occasion. What I'm trying to say is, when you unconditionally surrender in this kind of situations and take Swami's name, the miracle comes just like that. You will not even realize that Swami has done so much for you. That is the second experience. This is again a life-saving experience. In this case, my wife was the benevolent of Swami's grace. In the first case, I was the benevolent of Swami's grace. The third experience that I wanted to share with you is about my father. This I have explained in the study circle as well. This is again about the effectiveness of Namasmarana without any doubt. I used to very regularly chant Haripat written by Sant Jnaneshwar. My father was suffering from prostate gland enlargement, and he was around 79, 80 at that time. The doctors were not willing to operate upon him because they suspected that there may be difficulty in operating. But unfortunately, my father was unable to urinate, and it was giving him tremendous amount of discomfort and pain. And I requested the doctor with folded hands, sir, please operate. If there is any risk, I am responsible. I'll take the responsibility if there is a risk. The doctor, after considering for 2 to 3 days, he consented. Yes, I will operate. My father had no pressure. He had no diabetic. He has no other complaint. We admitted him in the hospital, and on the day of the surgery, he was taken into the hospital, operation theater around 5:30 in the evening. And the doctor told me that by 6:30 the operation will be completed. We will bring the patient back, and then you can stay here for night. Me and my brother were staying along with my father in the hospital on that evening. My father went into the operation theater at 5:30 in the evening. Up to 12:30, there was nobody who came out of the operation theater. The doctors were moving here and there. Nothing was happening. And after 6:30, I felt that something is going wrong. And immediately I started my prayer. My brother and myself, we both were sitting and chanting Swami's name at least 10,000 to 20,000 times. I don't know how many number of times I chanted, but the intensity with which we chanted was so much. Around 12:30 or 12:45 midnight, the doctor comes out and tells me, Varadarajan, it is serious. Your father's blood pressure is very vacillating so much. It is not constant. It is not in a particular stage where I can conveniently operate. Then he said, the operation may go for some more time. Why don't you get one bottle of blood for me? It was 1 o'clock, mind you, dear friends. It was 1 at midnight in Thane city. Where will I go for the blood? He said, you go near the station. There is an RSS run blood bank. You will get that. And I didn't have a vehicle. I just came down. My brother said, you come, we will just chant Swami's name and we'll walk. That's all. It's around 3 to 4 kilometers from there. We started walking. After the 4th step, believe me or not, after the 4th step with Swami's name in my lips, one auto fellow came there from nowhere. He just asked me, साहब आपको कहाँ जाना है? मैं बोला था RSS का ब्लड बैंक है ना, स्टेशन के उधर वहां जाना है, घंटाली रोड में. ठीक है साहब, बैठिए मैं लेके जाता हूँ. लेके गया. 10 मिनट में वहाँ पे मुझे पहुँचा दिया. And I asked him what is the charge. He charged me 16 rupees. At that time, it was not very, the auto fellow was very considerate, I felt, and I requested him, can you wait here for some time? I'll go into the blood bank, get the blood, I'll come back because I need to go back to the same hospital. He said, no sir, मैं ये मेरा लास्ट ट्रिप है, मैं अभी आ नहीं सकता, मैं अभी घर जा रहा हूँ, आपको वापस दूसरा कोई मिलेगा. मैं रिक्वेस्ट किया उसको, 2 बजे कौन मिलेगा, 2:30 बजे कौन मिलने वाला है मुझे, why don't you wait? He refused. Again, we took, again, Swami, you have made me come here. Now you make me go there. I went into the blood bank. It took almost 1 hour for them to give me the blood. The operation was going on in the hospital. Around 2:15, I came out of the blood bank and I started walking. There was no auto. Absolute silence in Thane. Absolute silence. No auto except few street dogs were barking. Nothing else. Again, we walked just for 10 steps. I don't know from where the auto came. One fellow came and stood before me and said, साहब कहाँ जाना है आपको? मैं बोला ये हॉस्पिटल में जाना है. ठीक है बैठिए, मैं आपको छोड़ देता हूँ. He dropped me in another 5 to 10 minutes because at that midnight, you know what kind of traffic will be there? There was no traffic. Around just 10 minutes, he dropped me there. I went up and gave the doctor the blood bag. Sir, doctor, blood has come. You can continue with the operation. By 3 o'clock or 3:30 in the morning, the doctor told me, Vardarajan, the operation has been completed. It was successful, but there is inside the urethra, there is a huge blood clot which I am unable to remove. So what I am doing, I am puncturing your father's stomach. Through that, I will approach the bladder and the urine will come out of this tube, not from that tube. Then I asked doctor, sir, when will that clot be removed? He said, it has to come on its own. We can't do anything about it. We'll have to wait. That's all. Let us see what happens. But one thing I'll tell you, Mr. Vardarajan, your Sairam has taken care of your father. I have done nothing. We 5 people were struggling for 6 to 7 hours, but it is because of your Sairam, your father is alive. I could not say anything at that point in time except that my eyes were watering. That's all. In the heart of heart, I was thanking Swami so much that Swami, you are 1,000 mother, you say, you are more than 1,000 mothers, Swami. I just said that. I kept quiet and I slept. Next morning, still that clot had not come. You know, in the afternoon, I took lunch for my father. I went there. He had something and I kept the lunch box down. I just lied down the cot which is next to my father's cot. I just lied down and I was just chanting Swami's name. Suddenly, Swami appeared in my dream. It was 2 o'clock. Dear members, it was 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Swami appeared in my dream and said, ऐसा आशीर्वाद दिया मुझे, ऐसा आशीर्वाद दिया और मेरे ऊपर ऐसा हंस के फेंक रहा था. हरिपाठ का एक छोटा बुक है. Normally, if you have that book, you will know it's a very small book of Haripath. He just threw on my lap and said, Ashirwad. I just woke up. Swami, have you come here? I just woke up. And immediately my sight went to my father. And out of the tube which was coming out of the urethra, this big clot was slowly moving out. The clot was moving out. I immediately called out to the nurse. Nurse, क्या हो रहा है आप देखिए. Nurse अंदर आई. साहब आपका पूरा हो गया. अभी ये क्लॉट के लिए तो सर बोल रहे थे डॉक्टर. अब ये क्लॉट अपने आप आ गया. कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अभी 1-2 दिन आपको ठहरना है बस. मैंने बोला ये पंक्चर जो किया है वो क्या होगा? वो अपने आप ठीक हो जाएगा. आप फिक्र मत करो. This is what Swami did. I did not understand what is the meaning of giving me Haripath. At that point in time, I thought that because I was chanting Haripath every day, he has given me Haripath. Many a times I tried to understand why Swami gave Haripath to me. But very recently, before giving this speech to you all, I realized through Swami's grace that he had given me Haripath because it was his confirmation that Namasmarana works wonders. You know the first shloka of Haripath? Devachiye Dhwari Vakshana Bhari Tene Muktichari Sadiyelya Hari Mukhe Mana, Punyachi Ganana Konakari. This was the first shloka of Sant Jnaneshwar. Hari Mukhe Mana. If you keep on chanting the name of Hari, Punyachi Ganana Konakari. Who can count the punyas that you have earned? This fantastic line, which starts, Haripat starts with this line. And this line's meaning was given to me by Swami on that day, but unfortunately, I did not realize, I did not understand the meaning, even though I have read Haripat so many number of times. So what I'm trying to tell is that if we unconditionally surrender to our Swami and keep on chanting his name, come what may, have Rupa Sahita Dhyanam, have the Rupa Swami in your heart, keep on chanting the name. The other things will come to you on its own. What you deserve shall come to you. If you are suffering in spite of chanting, the prarabdha karma is still balanced. When the prarabdha karma ends, or he decides to end your prarabdha karma, that goes off. And these three experiences, one in my life, one in the life of my wife, and one in the life of my father, because my father was also, the doctors were absolutely hopeless around 1 o'clock when they asked me to take the blood. They were absolutely hopeless. They said nothing, anything can go wrong anytime. And at the middle of the night, which auto fellow will come to me and ask me, where do you want to go? And which at around 2:30, which auto fellow will come to me and ask me, where do you want to go? And the effect of Namasmarana has been proved immensely in my life and in my family's experience also. This is what I wanted to share. Of course, apart from this, many other experiences are there. But in this speech, I thought I will only share these three experiences because in the half an hour, only this much I can tell. I could have elaborated it, but I could not have covered all the three experiences together in this speech. Sai Ram to all of you. Sai Ram. Next one.